Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 71, Paint Thinner and Ass. We are here to review the December 7, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. I am here with the man who is the invisible man at the moment, but he is coming back. He is the man of 47,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan every single Thursday. He is Jimmy Macram.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Just want you all to know that, and Sid will know I'm not lying about this, my mom has had problems health-wise this year too. So that doesn't get you a pass from me at all.
What? I meant to say something about that before we went live, but I'm just gonna.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Just clearing things up.
You couldn't even wait. Like your opening monologue literally had to be.
I saw these dummies on Twitter. So how could you hate this man? Look at him. He loves his mother.
I didn't say how do you hate this man. I did appreciate him being more open and honest during the media.
Lots of people saying it because he loves his mom. Oh, how unique that is than the fucking rest of us. The fuck are you even babbling about? Enough of this. Enough.
So you have no sympathy. Got it.
I know. I feel bad for his. I hope his mom's all right. That's an awful thing to go through. I mean, especially for the kid. I know it sounds a little selfish on my part. I'm just saying. Yeah, that doesn't mean you get a pass for staying at your job. That's not how that works. He was distracted. What happened when he wasn't distracted? Enough of these people. Enough.
Well, there you go. There you have it. That's Jimmy Macram on Tony Khan explaining, the family stuff that he was dealing with during the ROH Final Battle media call. We're going to talk about that media call before we get into AEW Dynamite from last night. Of course, we want to thank everyone for joining us as per usual, Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you. So show your appreciation back by dropping the thumbs up on this video if you're watching us on YouTube. Remember to share with your friends on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you're watching us on Facebook, drop a heart, a like, I guess an ambulance emoji, well, however AEW Dynamite made you feel from last night. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We want to hear from all of you. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But if you're feeling generous, it is the holiday season. You want to show your appreciation for what we do. A super chat donation is the best way to do that. And of course, we will highlight your comment when you do that. We got Ricky in the chat who says Ricky Starks promo, fire emoji. We got CM saying Ricky reading MJF the fuck down Starks. That is his new full name. That is his new full name. CM and Safet already counting off what's going on the show. We got Jaleel here with us saying hello, everyone. CM says, I mean, my mom had cancer and I ain't miss a day of school, so
That's all I'm saying.
I hope your mom is on the mend as well, CM. I hope
Same.
everyone mother is doing well. Kid Get Money saying, well, we are off to a good start. Yes, as per usual here, we also got Roxy who says, good morning, everyone. We got Will Chisholm who says, I love Jimmy being petty with Tony Khan. Never stop calling the truth out. The hood needs you. You're doing it for the hood. The hood appreciates you. But, Jimmy, before we get into last night's Dynamite, let's address the rest of the call from Tony Khan ahead of ROH Final Battle, because I felt like this was like the most we've ever got about a backstage situation and, how it was from his perspective, how it made him look down.
It made him look good. That's why he was very happy to talk about it.
Of course. It made him look good. So he was open and honest about it. He didn't give one of those, he didn't wait for the question and then went around it. He addressed it right from the beginning. And basically he said that William Regal around the time of October, before they went to Toronto in the beginning of October, William Regal had contacted Megan Parquet, who's their chief legal officer, about basically requesting that AEW doesn't renew their contract. They had an option, basically a team option. If you're an NBA fan, a team option where they could have renewed William Regal for one more year. And he was requesting that they didn't do that so he can go to WWE to work with his son, Charlie Dempsey, who's currently working in the Performance Center for WWE NXT. He explained how William Regal kind of related that to what Tony was going through with his mother, saying that, I know you understand, about a child being away from their parent, and you can, if you were me, what would you do? So he said yes, he would do it, but under the one condition, since it is their option to renew him and they're gonna acknowledge his request, they want to have the condition that he can't be an on-screen character like he was in AEW for 1 year. So that was the conditional release that they had as far as.
He had to sign something else out. So,
huh?
I assume he had to sign something else to get his release then.
Yeah, probably so. Because they probably, they were doing so much stuff around him even before the whole MJF wheel was going, as far as like with the Blackpool Combat Club. You would have thought that they were making plans to already, renew his contract. So
you said making plans to do something with his group, and I was going to say, would you knock it off?
Oh no! I'm not that hopeful. But it makes sense on Tony Khan's part to get that conditional release. On William Regal's part, it makes a whole world of sense. We had a report earlier this week from EC3, who is a known person who doesn't like AEW or has said some negative things about AEW due to what a lot of people in the business are saying, the fact that AEW doesn't call him for a job. Him and the Control Your Narrative bunch, like Braun Strowman and the such, have always been kind of negative about AEW, and he said that the word was that William Regal immediately regretted his decision when he went to AEW. And that got some traction when the news week was kind of slow earlier this week. But
Could that be accurate?
Huh?
Could that not be accurate?
No, because he has no kind of connection to William Regal to even say that. Like if it was like someone like Dave Taylor, Finley, yeah, I would be taking this seriously. Like when Conan, I compared it to when Conan on his podcast talked about the whole Santana and Ortiz situation. We took that as kind of as just because Conan's so close to Santana and Ortiz. But say if it's someone like, I don't know, Danhausen talking about Santana and Ortiz, are we going to still take it that seriously? No, because he doesn't have that connection with them. How do we know that what he's saying is the truth?
We don't know. But could William Regal not regret his decision as soon as he signed that?
Oh, no. I'm not saying that can't be true. I'm just saying that the source of it is not a good one.
I was not aware EC3 had previous beef. Beef's not the right word. Annoyance, we'll call it, with AEW. That aside, I read Who was it? Somebody who bothers me, but I was impressed with what he said. Oh, Pillman Jr. I read what Pillman Jr. is talking about working with the kids. Regal was. Now only a few of them showed up all the time. A bunch of bums. I'm sorry. I'm sick of everybody in that fucking locker room except Ricky Starks. They can all die slow. Enough of these people.
Jesus Christ.
William Regal is here. William Regal is here. You couldn't build a guy you could learn stuff from. Somebody who was egoless because he never made it to the tippiest top, who's talented in every fucking thing he does. Why wouldn't you be there every day? Brian Pillman Jr. is there every day? And you're not there every day?
Willie Yuta was there every day.
And Willie Yuta.
Lee Moriarty was there every day, he said.
Well, we know he's not going to make it. We know why that is. Sorry, sir.
Gotta get yourself out the Negro hole.
Sorry.
Keep those comments coming in the live chat. We love hearing from y'all. Well, we had to address that whole William Regal situation, which, of course, this Saturday, True Hill Heat 204, special guest, Post Wrestling's own Andrew Thompson. We'll talk more about the entire kind of fallout.
No, it's not okay. See, well, that's okay, but it doesn't make it smart. It doesn't make it smart. It's not a smart thing to do. It's a waste of everybody's time, particularly your own. Everybody wants to take advice, and that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You can do what you want. It's a free country. It's a free world outside of certain places that kill people for certain beliefs. But other than that, you can do what you want. The point is, if somebody who knows better can tell you better, why wouldn't you listen? Outside the fact that you're
and Jade would be there. We heard a lot about Jade working with Regal and Brian.
She's right. Look how fast she's improved. Look how fast because she takes advice and she looks like $1 million. That also helps, obviously.
That too. We'll get to Jade. She was on the show, but let's get into the December 7th, 2022 edition. I love that.
I was so really sure you said he ain't got a lot of stuff to do before the show starts.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, bro says Pillman Jr. ain't exactly got a lot to do before his show starts. So, of course, he was there every time. Let's get into the December 7th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite from Cedar Park, Texas, just outside of Austin. What did you think about the crowd last night?
I think we should always go to the
Texas. I think it's Texas. Texas is always one of their better crowds every time.
They were great.
Absolutely. We did get footage from last week to start the show where commentary informed us that William Regal is still in the hospital and Bryan Danielson has been by his side the entire week. I did like that little note, that little cherry. It felt like what we asked for. I think it was me and you that asked for AEW to kind of do like what like soap opera shows do, like previously on AEW Dynamite. That if you're not going to do like a full one, at least do the main kind of the A plot of the show, and the BCC and MJF were kind of in the most important stuff on the show.
Easily,
yes. We got.
You're bothering me. I'm about to turn these comments off. Stop looking at them. You're bothering me. Like, trying to show older wrestlers.
Go to private chat. It's blank.
I love that. Absolutely. It would be like the students teaching the teacher. That'd be dumb. So teachers shouldn't teach the student because that would also be dumb. The fuck are you babbling about? Enough of this.
The other Ricky Castillo says it's like younger wrestlers trying to show old wrestlers the new style of wrestling. A lot of them wouldn't be interested.
Absolutely. I agree.
Whoa. We got breaking news in the live chat from Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. PW Insider reports that Sasha Banks is expected to be in attendance at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Unknown if she will appear in front of the live crowd, but NJPW is bringing her in for the event. This makes me interested because of something else we saw on this show.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. If they are. Okay, I'm just going to get it out the way. I'm going to mention it now because later on in the show, we had Saraya in an interview. Britt Baker comes in and she basically challenges her to a match on January 11th in Los Angeles, the Kia Forum. And it's going to be Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Saraya and a partner of her choosing. So if they don't announce that it's like Tony Storm or someone like that, before we get to January 11th, then I think it is a possibility. And that would be the thing that would pay it off. And it would be a big payoff for a 1 month build.
This reminds me so much of when did Christian come here? Tony Khan was fucking. We got the biggest guy we've ever gotten, and the names I heard were shocking. I was like, would you stop? It's not Brock Lesnar. I don't care what you heard.
Oh, that was ridiculous. It's
not Brock Lesnar. That's how I feel about this. It's not Sasha Banks. Well, I don't know who it is. I know who it ain't, and it's not Sasha Banks. That aside, I had to watch the fucking Wrestle Kingdom show.
Yo, yeah, you're gonna love that Omega Ospreay match. I feel like for everything you say, you do enjoy both of those guys when they're in their bag, and they're gonna be both in their bag on January 4th.
Yeah, and if Sasha shows up after them, then I'll be watching that match. If she shows up before, hey, thank God, get the fuck out of here.
She'll probably, I think she might come out after the IWGP Women's Championship match.
Oh.
With Kyrie and Tam Nakano. And if Kyrie retained Kyrie versus Sasha in New Japan, holy shit.
This is shocking. This is a lot. I can't see Sasha Banks leaving.
I can't.
I said leaving. I leaving and going someplace else.
I very much said in May when they walked out, I said the best thing for Sasha Banks is to leave for a while. I think eventually she'll come back to WWE. But she's so young. She's 30 years old. She wants to wrestle. She loves wrestling so much. I feel like the best thing for her is a couple of years away from the WWE system where she can do the Cody and raise her stock, where they bring her back and she can do, and they will present her the way she can be presented. They've had a mainstream star on their fingertips for years and really haven't capitalized on it. We didn't even get an advertisement for her on Mandalorian. Like they don't care about all the stuff that she's doing outside of it. And it would be very, very beneficial if she went to another promotion, because that brings a whole hive. Sasha Banks has the closest thing in wrestling to Beyonce fans. That's what it would be for any promotion that Sasha Banks shows up.
I hate to do the Vince thing again. When did Vince retire?
July 22nd.
It feels so much longer ago than that. But I don't want to keep beating him up. It's been since July. But that aside, Vince seems to be jealous of anything he doesn't create himself. Yeah. So I don't think he likes Sasha Banks getting famous because he didn't do it.
Yes, Vince has always been the WWE brand is the biggest star. No one else is the bigger star than the brand.
Yeah, he got mad at The Rock after he left the first time.
Yeah, and I think it was guys like The Rock, guys like John Cena, who became as big as the brand, and then were able to go off and kind of leave just like a couple of years behind in the ring to go off to bigger fame. That's the reason why they've always wanted to make the brand bigger than any one star. Roman Reigns is kind of the only latest example of someone that has kind of he's either getting to that or he's near being the same value as the brand.
Props to him, by the way. He's crushed it ever since he turned heel. And it's a little shocking that he wasted 3 years of his life.
It's like, seriously, he should, I've said it for years, he should have turned heel after he beat Taker at WrestleMania.
It's so simple.
That was so obvious.
We've seen Austin, we've seen Rock, we've seen lots of people. That reaction after that Taker WrestleMania, I've never heard anything like that in my life.
And then they used all that heel heat to make a new top babyface in Braun Strowman and did nothing with them. It just kept Roman as a babyface for 3 more. Oh man, I'll never. That is probably one of the biggest. What if Roman turned 3 years earlier? But let's get into the show. We talked so much about everything.
We didn't talk about him getting mad at Triple H's War Games thing.
He was surprised.
He was pissed.
He didn't say pissed.
Fuck that guy.
He didn't say pissed.
I just felt like we should have been a little more appreciative of what the fuck are you even babbling about? Oh, what a cunt. I hate him so much. Oh.
Let's get into this actual show. We have kicked off the show with the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale. We had Ricky Starks come out. We had Orange Cassidy around the ring, Dalton Castle, Brian Cage. Jungle Boy also got an entrance, as well as Austin, Texas' own Dustin Rhodes, who recently announced that 2023 will be his final in-ring year in wrestling. I know you're happy to hear that.
I was hoping today was 2023.
You also had Matt Hardy, Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty from the Firm, the Captain Sean Dean in this. The Butcher was also in this. Notable eliminations: Kip Sabian eliminated Orange Cassidy early, continuing their feud that started on Rampage. You also had Kip Sabian being eliminated by Dustin Rhodes after a Canadian Destroyer. Butcher eliminated Dustin. Butcher looked pretty good, and he's grown out that beard ridiculously.
He looks like an animal. Go ahead.
And he does. We had Jungle Boy with a cool elimination with a Hurricane Rana on Lee Moriarty. He tried to skin the cat, but W. Morrissey delivered a big boot to eliminate him, and then absolutely murdered him with this apron choke bomb. I was like, ew. It came down. The final four was Captain Sean Dean, Matt Hardy, All Ego Ethan Page, and Absolute Ricky Starks. Page and Hardy with Ethan giving the orders to Matt Hardy. Ethan Page eliminates Captain Sean Dean. They then try the double team on Ricky Starks. When Matt Hardy tries to deliver a twist of fate, Ricky's able to eliminate him. It comes down to Ricky Starks and Ethan Page, and Ricky Starks eliminates Ethan Page in the same manner that The Rock won the Royal Rumble 2000, but Ricky's feet did not hit the floor. Ricky Starks wins the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale, but before he can even catch his breath, before he can even celebrate the win, the music of the AEW World Champion MJF hits. He comes out to the ring and he has some stuff to say. Massive boos for MJF, as this is Ricky Starks' adopted hometown. MJF tells Ricky Starks that he'll be with him in 1 sec. He then turns to the cam and he brings up Danielson, saying that he didn't want to show up tonight because he is terrified of MJF. He doesn't blame Brian because he's a bad man, and that's why in 1 week he'll be a 4-time Dynamite Diamond Ring champion and still the holder of the grandest prize of them all, the Triple B. And MJF then turns to Ricky Starks. He calls him Richard, and he says that these people seem to like you, Richard. He says you are very talented, but he is not some underutilized wrestling god. We get some shut the fuck up chants for MJF. MJF wants to put some truth down, and he says that in comparison to MJF, Ricky is the absolute drizzling shits. Or should I say he's a Rudy Poo candy ass, considering the fact that he sold everything from that guy. He's nothing more than a dollar store Dwayne. MJF, as a matter of fact, is going to start calling Ricky Starks the Pebble. And next week, MJF is going to put that little pebble in his pocket. He's going to hop his brand new Porsche, drive Ricky to the nearest body of water, and skip his scrawny little pigeon-toed ass all the way back to Billy Corgan's NWA so he can wrestle on YouTube where he belongs.
Nearest body of water is the greatest way to put that, by the way.
Absolutely magnificent. MJF doesn't care that Ricky is absolute because he's a generational talent and his reign of terror has just begun. Ricky walks past MJF, shoulder checks him. He then grabs the mic. Huge Ricky chants. Ricky calls him Maxi Pad. Before you can even continue with the rest of his promo, the fans catch on to that, start chanting Maxi Pad. He says he should have expected a fifth-rate Roddy Piper wannabe to come out and try to steal the spotlight. You trash the city. You trash the people. How much more you got? The low-hanging fruit is running dry, partner. Every week, MJF smells like paint thinner and ass. MJF's reaction was great. This was a straight schoolyard fucking promo roast. He says the shirt is too small, the shitty scarf, the terrible haircut, your shoes are horrible. You know, it's not even ironed. You think you're better than Ricky Starks? Give me a break. Everything about MJF screams cheap. Cheap suits, cheap shoes, cheap heat. Here's the thing. With that title comes a big responsibility that MJF knows nothing about. The difference between them two is that when the people got behind him, he gave them a reason to keep going. When they put faith in MJF, he let them down. He let Regal down. And when it comes to Ricky, he delivers on time every week, every month. MJF can take his little ass to Greece for 3 months because he didn't get paid enough, because he got out politicked by smarter, better than him people. Ricky shows up to signed meet and greets, and MJF just blows it off because everyone hates MJF, so he has nothing to lose, right? Besides your nose being a lot darker than the rest of your body, calling MJF a brown noser, he lives with dignity and respect. When he lived in his car in South Austin, he was grinding. He knew the responsibility. When it comes to that woman in the crowd, it's his job to get a car and a house. And because MJF pays others, kisses ass, he can get whatever he wants. Give Ricky a break. Next week is a big deal because he is shutting up MJF for once in his narcissistic punk ass life. He is Ricky Stark, and next week he is slapping the mole off his neck and taking his title. He will do MJF a favor. He is going to take the responsibility off his plate, little man. MJF nods and then hits Ricky with a low blow. Ricky sells a bit. Then MJF tries to deliver the Dynamite Diamond Ring punch. Ricky ducks, and then Ricky delivers a spear that was so good, MJF flew. His shoes flew off his feet, speared him out of his shoes. This is what I call a money fucking promo. This was a star-making performance for Ricky Starks. I'm sorry. In AEW, everybody's a good wrestler. You can get your foot in the door being a good wrestler. But to stand out and to be a star among stars and to feel like a main eventer in this company, you have to be a great talker. And not only did Ricky Starks cut a great promo, he did it against one of the best promos in the business. And in my opinion, he won the battle. This was a great piece of business. The Battle Royal was fine to set up a couple of different matches. It was more about putting Ricky Starks over. But I got more to say about what I think should happen next week. But what did you think about the Battle Royal into the promo between MJF and Ricky Starks?
I like the Battle Royal. I don't know why Dustin came out last. It's his hometown. Who cares? Especially since he got eliminated fucking very nonchalantly. Like it wasn't even an important elimination. Dalton Castle was hilarious. The boys are hilarious. Yes. Everything they do is funny and over the top. I'm so here for it. And I'm glad Ricky Starks won. I don't know how I feel about Jungle Boy, who had a star-making performance at the pay-per-view and is now moved on to W. Morrissey. Oh, okay. Yeah. That aside, the promo exchange was great. Yeah, it was great. I must say, after MJF was done, I was feeling not very good at all. I was like, that was really good, but we just buried Ricky Starks, and I'm not here for it at all. And then once he said, first of all, I almost didn't make it past Paint Throwing Ass. I rewound it like 4 or 5 times so I could hear it again. It's such
I had to rewind it for the part where he broke everything down right after it, where he says, "You're sure, Steve? Yo, that was a straight up schoolyard roast." Yes. I've heard.
I was trying to think of that list of. I have Starks, Austin. This is not a best of all time list. Starks, Austin, Eddie Kingston, and Punk. People who can say things that make you think they just thought of it on top of their fucking head.
This whole promo, I think, was off the cuff. This was off the like MJF's promo. So MJF's promo, you could tell he probably wrote it in his hotel room the night before. He prepared it. Ricky Starks felt like everything was from the cuff.
Has Ricky Starks been doing this longer than MJF?
I think they both been doing around 10 years. I want to say probably Ricky has a little bit more experience.
I love MJF, but much like a lot of our favorite wrestlers, Rock, Triple H, you can kind of get used to his cadence. Dun, 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 dun. That. And Ricky Starks, I could not guess where he was going, and he went off. I went, let's go. It was brilliant. I'm sad he's going to lose the match, but it is what it is. You guys had a star-making performance. Maybe for us, for the fans, I'm willing to put him up another notch. But I've heard many of fucking this is gonna get Ricky whatever. Then ends up on dark for a month. Enough.
This is true. This is maybe like the second or third breakout promo he's had. But this is the first time it was against another great promo. That's the difference. That's the difference for me. So that's why I say this felt like he was getting positioned to kind of be a mainstay at the very least in the upper mid card. And honestly, I'm disappointed that, you know, we both kind of said last week that we wanted Ricky to win this. So the match at Winter is Coming is for both the Dynamite Diamond Ring and the world title to get it out the way. Honestly, I go back on that now. I think the best move would have probably been doing the Dynamite Diamond Ring match next week so Ricky wins something and then do the world title match in January at either the Seattle show or the January show, and then you can have like more of a longer program between the two guys.
So you got MJF
lose the Diamond Ring and then win the championship. Or you could have done the title match next week and MJF cheats and he, you know, his whole thing that he said in his beginning promo was he's going to put obstacle after obstacle. I'm never going to verse anybody twice. And then Ricky Starks has another match in his back pocket. It's not for the title, but then he can beat him and then you could set up the match for both of them, for both the ring and the title. You do a trilogy between the two.
I'm not mad at that. But I'm very, very happy with Ricky. I'm glad we're all on the same page about this. I love that. I don't know how much they worked on this together. I love how MJF set it up as you're like this internet darling, and then fucking Ricky Starks proves his worth in one promo. It's just go ahead, sir.
Yes, we got Ricky who says Ricky Starks a star that went supernova. We got ABB who says Ricky roasting MJF was beautiful. Ricky gets my vote. His cadence meshes so well with all up against cocky heels like MJF, and a short-term feud with Ethan will be decent. He also says, I hope the loss affects his character in some way and sets him up for a path towards a title, TNT or world title down the line. Set him up for a proper long-term arc, please. Ricky is that good. Yeah, honestly.
No, stop it.
Honestly,
if you have long-term arcs in this company, you go
Hangman Adam Page.
And Hangman Page and MJF, and that's the end of the fucking list. Like, stop it. It's been 3 years. Long-term arcs.
Hey, you already completed 2. You gotta complete some more. So Ricky's a good one to start off at. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he loses here and then you build him back up to get another title shot down the line that he could finally beat. He could be the guy. I wouldn't mind him being the guy that dethrones MJF.
Same.
Year from now.
I love it. Jesus. You know what? Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. No, man. Please.
We got Ricky who says, I lost it when he said I slapped the mole off his neck. ALW says Ricky was better than MJF on the mic. Ricky was amazing. Roxy says Starks is a fucking star.
Right.
We got Ace who says MJF got his friends in MLW, so he definitely wouldn't disrespect the company who gave him an opportunity. He definitely did. He forgot where he came from.
I don't. By the way, I want to give. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way too. What was I going to say? Fuck, forgot. Ratings, Ricky. Props to MJF, by the way. Because I didn't realize until Ricky pointed it out. But though MJF in character is supposed to have money, he does not dress particularly well. He dresses like a douche, quite frankly.
Yes.
And fucking Ricky called it out. It was perfect. I loved every bit of it. That was great.
But he is very much his character. That's how Long Island people with a lot of money.
Yes.
That is being from New York, I can tell you firsthand, and I worked in Long Island, that is how all the businessmen that live in mansions, they look busted up in their little button down suit, little slacks, not iron at all. Like Ricky called out a lot of facts in his promo there too. EBB says MJF is one of those heels where his promo at times can take me out of the story when he just roasts his opponent in a way that turns it into a parody. Ricky is one of those that can hit right back.
Agreed.
I think all of the guys that he mentioned in the promo last week are guys that can come right back and hit him right back. Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson. I don't know about Eddie Kingston though, because I thought about after this promo, I thought about an Eddie Kingston MJF promo, and I was like, MJF is known for the low-hanging fruit, And this is the low-hanging fruit that it caused Eddie to choke a bitch backstage.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I think there needs to be a proper sit-down with MJF and Eddie Kingston, if I'm Tony Khan, before you set up that program.
Yes, please. Let's figure out what the fuck we're talking about and how we're going to do it before Eddie goes upside of fucking MJF's head on national television.
He woke up the bitch on national TV. Bro says MJF has lost like twice to Sean Dean this year. He could take a loss to Ricky and be fine. I honestly feel like that it would kind of be the nice capper for the year that MJF has if he loses a non-title match.
Losing to Uncle Ruckus doesn't count.
This nigga called them Uncle Ruckus, y'all.
He
called them Uncle Ruckus.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
That was over the top. Uncle Ruckus.
Why are you gonna do that to he's a hero?
Steven. We'll call him Steven from Django. Uncle Ruckus is a bit strong.
That is a bit strong. He hasn't said anything like the things Uncle Ruckus has said. Yeah. That was the street. That's why I had to give you that one. Anyone who disagrees, it's up to you. But hey, but this is I think AEW for a short-term kind of thing as far as building Ricky Starks up for Winter is Coming. Ricky and AEW has kind of done everything they can to make him feel like a legitimate challenger in 3 weeks.
Yes, in 3 weeks. That's the most you could do. If only you, I don't know, booked it better. Who would have thought?
ABB says Ricky would be the perfect guy dethroning Samoa Joe too.
This is true. Samoa Joe doing more for that TNT championship, by the way, than Warlow ever did.
Yo, already. Oh, we're gonna talk about that match. Oh my god. Ricky reminded folks that BR folks read the fuck out of everybody.
What's BR?
Biracial.
Hilarious.
We got you my boy Blue. He says MJF dresses like he works at his dad's dealership. Absolutely.
Douchebag son, absolutely.
We also got CM who says I want to see Eddie beat MJF on TV.
Baton Rouge.
Oh, I thought it was biracial. That made more sense to me. We are back from break and we go backstage and we got John Moxley, who's talking about a whole bunch of things. He's tired of Jericho Appreciation Society. He warns everyone that he will be there for the BCC tonight to make sure that there's no sports entertainment BS. He also says that he likes the fact that Hangman Adam Page came back and did his talking with his fist. He says that there's too much talking around here, but he might have stepped up to the wrong person, and he tells Hangman Adam Page he knows where to find Moxley, so come get him. What did you think? That
would have been fun if Hangman was actually here, apparently.
I was like, the thing we need this week is a Hangman Adam Page promo, and we didn't get that. I was like, okay, if you're not going to do that, at least promote it for Rampage. That's a hook for Rampage.
I don't know.
They announced 3 or 4 different promos, not Hangman Adam Page. I'm like, what are we doing?
We also didn't talk about for the 4th time, Tony Khan promising to do something with Rampage. By the way,
yes, he did. He did for the 4th time.
You remember when Triple H and Stephanie and Vince all came out and said,
"Yes, it's very much like that." It's very much like that.
We had this conversation already. Enough.
Very much like that.
Is Hangman busy? Is he hurt? What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, they said he was there to get medically cleared, and then he got into a brawl. So I would expect him to be back here this week. If he just shows up on Rampage, I'm just gonna be like, you should have promoted this. You should have just said Hangman was gonna be there at Rampage.
So ridiculous.
But let's go to our next matchup for the TNT Championship. Darby Allin, the former longest reigning TNT champion in history, going up against the king of television, Samoa Joe, the TNT champion and ROH World Television champion. Joe smirks at the size difference very early on. We get a stare down between the two. We get Darby kind of firing out, coming out hot, hitting rights and lefts over and over. Joe shoves him and he gives a drop kick to Joe, sending him to the outside. And this is where everything turns wrong for Darby Allin, because Darby Allin decides, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm and do what I usually do. I'm gonna hit a big old torpedo, tope suicida. He did not plan on Samoa Joe doing his most effective move ever, the walk away. And Darby Allin, my God, he planted Jimmy on the concrete by the fans' feet. And then to make matters worse, Joe removes the mat and Darby Allin runs at him and he delivers a concrete power slam. Then Joe, right when we come back from commercial break, throws Darby into the ring post and Darby does a 360 into the guardrail. Oh my God, this was like prime Samoa Joe for a few minutes here. This was amazing. Darby makes his comeback though, using his high flying and his speed coffin drop to the outside. He then hits a stunner. Then he follows up with a code red for a near fall. However, when he goes for the coffin drop, Samoa Joe with the key reversal into the coquina clutch. Love the camera work, but Bryce Rensburg fucked it up. He shouldn't have been in the way, but I understand you got to see if the guy's passing out. But the camera work was great, where you saw Darby Allin as the energy kind of sucked away as his eyes was going to the back of his head as Samoa Joe retains the TNT championship. My Lord, I love this match way too much. This was like everything I imagined. This was one of my dream matches for Joe when he came to AEW, and it was everything I wanted and more. This was Darby Allin getting his ass kicked by an ass kicker in the most effective way possible. And then the murder continued after the match as Darby Allin got up, shouted out Samoa Joe. He shoved Joe and Joe delivered a headbutt. He then picks him up, picks up his skateboard, puts it with the skates up and delivers a muscle buster onto the fucking skateboard. Oh, this looked like it hurt. This looked like it was murder. He then reapplies the coquina clutch until Wardlow comes out and makes the save. Loved everything about this. My one nitpick is that this did nothing to build up Samoa Joe versus Juice Robinson at ROH Final Battle. Yes, Final Battle is this Saturday.
They've completely given up on that.
They Tony kind of said, he said, after this pay-per-view, you're gonna see I'm limited even more.
This match was great. This was a Darby match. I've seen this match before with Darby. I'm trying to remember who. If it was Miro or Brian Cage or somebody.
I think it's Brody King. This was like Brody King versus Darby Allin versus 2005, 2006 Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. This was like a fusing of those two matches.
I loved it. I don't know why Darby isn't on TV more. He's not going to be around for a long time. So I don't know why we're not using him every chance we get. He's got 3 more years left in him, maybe. This is so much fun. I don't know why these matches don't happen. Joe was great, as he usually is. His walk away.
This picture, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Darby looks like a small dog trapped under a car. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't know why we signed Juice Robinson. Right, probably for ROH in and of itself. Was I supposed to like Wardlow after this? After he waited until fucking Darby got his ass beat a second time it came out? Shouldn't he be on fucking Joe's ass as soon as the bell rang and it was over? Shouldn't he be out there to fuck him up?
I agree.
Back? What are we even doing? I'm so
agree.
annoyed. Darby's been completely wasted, by the way. I know this thing was supposed to help, but it just kind of kept him occupied for a little bit. So we can have these same tag matches over and over again every review. I don't know why. Please. Let Darby do his thing. Please. I don't have
honestly. I thought after Full Gear, you remember after Full Gear, I was like, Darby and MJF, that could be a world title program. That feels like so long ago. They can definitely get him back there, but just put focus on him. Because like you said, I totally agree. Darby ain't gonna be around for long. He's here for a good time, not a long time. And I don't even think he's here for a good time. This man is not doing anything good for himself at all. This man is trying to murder himself on national TV, and I'm loving it. But we need to strike while the iron's hot. We got a bunch of comments in the live chat, guys. Keep it coming here. We got you, my boy Blue, with Joe used minding my own business. It was very effective. Roxy says this was straight up murder, but so good. We got a super chat donation as well. Thank you, Kid Get Money, always serving up here on AEWramble. We appreciate you, good sir. Saying I had flashbacks watching Joe beat up Darby. It felt like I was watching the Jaguars getting squashed by the Lions last week. Hope Jags and Darby can recover because those ass whippers were brutal. I love how Kid Get Money somehow, some way gets in a reference to his Jacksonville Jaguars.
You need a therapist, sir. We're not here to spend a little extra money for a therapist instead of super chats. The Jaguars are kicking your ass, sir. There was one before this, though. There was another one. It was Blue, super chat. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, yes. EBB. There we go.
Hey,
EBB
see that?
With the super chat donation. Thank you so much, EBB. Saying, what you talking about, lads? Joe hasn't even said this is Samoa Joe's world once. Disgraceful. No one told me whose world it is.
I gotta be honest.
SMH. I'm sorry. I think of Bobby's world every single time he says it. Thank you so much for that super chat donation, EBB.
If I didn't care about heels and faces, I'd want Samoa Joe to just say this from now on. So I'm pretty sure it would get over because it's so awful for Wardlow to say. She just kept saying, this is Samoa Joe's world. I would cheer. That's hilarious. Please, sir. It works for me.
Samoa Joe's world. I'm here for it. I'm here for Samoa. It's Samoa Joe's world. I'm the king of TV. King of fucking TV. God damn it.
Did you see Joe's face when Wardlow came out? He pissed his pants. I'm not sure I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I know he's a heel. I just don't know if I buy it.
I don't buy it either. We also got EBB who says, feels like I haven't seen this Darby in a long ass time. Think it's time for Darby to be on Dynamite more again. Darby is one of the most marketable guys they got. Exactly. I did a whole article in Fightful magazine about how Darby Allin could be a major star. And yeah,
he could have 8-track discs. Put it in my CD player. What?
I did a whole article talking about how marketable Darby is and all the things that make him so different from every other star in wrestling. But like I said, he's not gonna be around for long, so we gotta get it in. We gotta get it done soon.
Indeed.
I wouldn't mind Darby being the guy who dethrones MJF. They just gotta focus on him way more before we get there.
Indeed.
Annika saying, I have a feeling both of these psychos want to do this match again. Yeah, Joe was having the time of his life.
Absolutely.
Joe was having the time of his life. And weirdly, I think Darby was too.
Always.
Weirdly, I think Darby was. That would be awesome if they were able to do this and make it feel like all three guys had a chance to win. That would be the key. But like MJF defending against Sammy, Jungle Boy, and Darby, I'd be down for it.
I would not. No. It's over. The pillars are over. Why are we still acknowledging this as a thing?
Oh yeah, I was waiting to really piss Jimmy off so we could get a good disclaimer, a well-earned disclaimer. But I did want to bring this up to Jimmy. Will Chisholm saying, "Tell Jimmy the reason why Mirosoft not on TV." Well, Jesus. Fightful Select had a report yesterday before Dynamite saying that Miro is actively ready to compete and wants to be on television, but right now creative has not been presented to him.
Well, you got nothing from Miro. I mean, why would you? What do you want? I got nothing for you. That guy who was the greatest TNT champion ever, whose character is one of the greatest in the history of this goofy ass fucking company. Why would you have something for him? If only you had, I don't know, a shitty babyface you could put him up against, who probably shouldn't be feuding with Samoa Joe. I don't know. Or maybe you had a slender fucking cocksucking, no offense, piece of shit guy who loves getting tossed around. Who better to toss him around than Miro? I don't understand. I am so very confused. This is the book of the year, huh? I saw your tweet. If it's not somebody I've never heard of overseas, it's this guy. On what planet? Tell me, please. He's at the bottom.
Rosie Aqua is getting my pick.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's across the river, I assume. I mean, the ocean, on the river.
You are racism.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm just saying that makes him the best booker in North America, which is just as bad.
Yeah, it's a low bar. It's a very low bar, y'all.
So
All right, we go backstage and Tony Schiavone is interviewing AEW All-Atlantic champion Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian after their physicality in the Battle Royal. OC wants to talk to Kip. He tells him that he doesn't need to do all of this. If he wants a shot at the title, all he has to do is just ask. Kip calls him a Clementine and points out the obvious that he is injured and can't wrestle. So OC says Kip if he won't fight him this Friday, find someone that can. Kip twists his mustache, and it's official on Friday. OC will face someone of Kip's choosing for the All-Atlantic Championship.
how fast his titles fall. It was fun for like a couple weeks.
It was fun when OC first got it. You know, Pac did good stuff on it. I mean, they're trying to make this kind of the Rampage title now.
Yes, it's over. That was fun. I'm not sure why we have this belt. I thought we invented this belt so we could take all those 4 guys out of that Rumble they had to crown number 1 contender. I remember being the same week. Random.
Yeah. Chris Jericho has an iPhone promo spliced in with some footage to talk about him beating Claudio at Final Battle, and he says all honor the Ocho.
I think I've heard this promo before.
I think I have too.
One before.
Like,
Jesus.
We should have just showed a whole video package about the feud. That probably would have been more effective than
Booker of the Year, huh? This whole feud immediately removes from any contention in my book. What?
The BCC, and I'm doing a list of the worst booking decisions of 2022, and BCC versus JAS. It might be up there. Next up, we had BCC versus JAS, as it was Jericho Appreciation Society's Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager with Sammy Guevara versus Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club with Jon Moxley in their corner. This one kind of played out how you would expect. Wheeler Yuta took the heat. Claudio came in for a always fabulous hot tag, going wild, hitting just wonderful European uppercuts. Gets the giant swing on Hager. The JAS actually got the advantage at one point and were cocky. They had a double submission on the BCC, but Claudio was able to run Hager into Garcia, hit the European uppercut on Hager to get the win here. BCC picking up the win. After the match, Tony Schiavone comes into the ring and he says that he has something to show the Blackpool Combat Club. And ladies and gentlemen, we saw history, because for the first time in professional wrestling, we saw a play this if I'm dead promo. We literally saw a play this if I'm dead promo from William Regal. This was shot after Full Gear. William Regal even said, "You only are going to play this if something bad happened to me." Oh my God.
The dumbest shit I've ever heard. What is this fucking nonsense?
He said you're always expecting that. He took great exception to what MJF did to Tony. He's mad about the email, so he gave MJF what he wanted. He's world champ, but now everyone will be chasing MJF. He realized several months ago that the 3 main members of the Blackpool Combat Club don't need him around anymore, but he also knew they wouldn't let him go. He needed to show them why they don't need him and why they can teach Wheeler to be the best in the world. You have to lead by example, though. Hopefully, and we know that John will understand, but the reason he did what he did was to teach the final thing he could ever teach to them. Always stay one step ahead and always keep eyes in the back of your head. He is BCC till the day he dies. It's been emotional.
I would Moxley ignore all that and just talk about
Yes, that's exactly what Moxley said. He said, if Moxley said, it knows one thing for sure: the 3 men in this ring live and breathe for the sport of professional wrestling. December 10th, ROH Final Battle. This war with JAS is over. I think this was like a message to us. I'm putting my word on it. It's over after Saturday. And he says these men will make a statement on Saturday. He will make a statement this Friday. He's challenging any wrestler in the world. He says pro wrestling is about to make a serious statement. And they did announce later in the night that Jon Moxley will go one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita this Friday on Rampage. And as per usual, we have the question that I ask every week, Jimmy. Does this make you want to watch Rampage or at least this match?
No. As much as I love Takeshita, and I'm glad he got signed. We said that a couple weeks ago. I'd save all my Juice Robinson money for Takeshita. And he's good. And I like watching him. I gotta be honest, I have no interest in Moxley matches. I just don't.
Wow.
I'm kind of over it. It's the same match every time, same couple spots. He uses the diamond cutter as a fucking setup move. It's infuriating. You just squeak. That aside, are we all on the same page with this? I see quite a few of you on the same page with this. This is the dumbest shit ever, right? What the fuck are we even? First of all, he recorded this 3 weeks ago in case something happened. Is ridiculous.
We gotta play this.
Secondly, this was not recorded 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure who we're fooling. They recorded this yesterday. What? I've never seen Regal in a jump up. Like, what are we? All of this is silly.
I think it was. He wasn't there at the building, so I think it was.
He might have been there at the building, but this was not 3 weeks ago. This was not right after Full Gear. Like, who buys that? Even a little bit. Like, stop it. And then, wait a minute. And then he goes, I did this. They wouldn't let me leave. You're a grown-ass man. You just leave. The same way you got here. What the fuck are you even talking about? I did it to help them. Didn't you just cost Moxley the fucking championship? What are you even talking about, sir? What is all of this? I don't even kind of understand. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I hated every bit of this. I want to give Regal a beautiful send-off. But to me, the beautiful send-off was last week. He got bitten in his ass. It fits the story perfect. It's wrapped up in a nice bow. Let's move on with life. What?
I think they just wanted to baby face him on the way.
Yes. Right. Why though? It doesn't help anybody, even a little bit. Except, no, it doesn't help anybody. Wow. Always have eyes in the back of your head. Then get hit by MJF in the back of the head. Exactly. That's what made what he said. Yes. That's what made what he said fucking hilarious. So it just made Regal look like a dumbass. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I loved it because it was a play this if I'm dead promo. I'm sorry. I couldn't even get over that. That was the opening words. The opening words was, if you're here, if you're seeing this, something. I'm dead.
What if it happened a year from now?
Yeah.
Let's just record these every 6 months, just in case.
Yeah. He had a will and testament thing that I think.
Let's not fucking forget Tony Schiavone standing next to him, and it's completely chill, which is not the way he was during when it happened, when he was losing his fucking mind. What is this?
I'm in tears.
That shit was fucking. That was horrific.
He literally started the promo. Like, if you're watching this, something's happening. Yo, I nearly pissed myself when he said that.
That was shocking.
Wow.
That was shocking.
Wow.
I'm going to try to be nice. I like the idea. Like you said, play this from Dead Promo. It does sound interesting, by the way. But much like Austin Theory's cash in, I felt like I like the idea, but we should have worked out what the fuck we're going to actually going to say.
Yes, it was very much like I like the concept of it. It's like Damage Control. I like the concept of it.
Yeah,
I don't like the execution.
Why isn't that working? Is that because we can't do anything with Bianca? Like we can't move from a spot. So
yeah, I think it's like he basically booked them to become the Nexus.
I was about to say it feels very John Cena-ish to me.
Yeah, it is. It's Bianca's been booked like Black John Cena.
Can't
Black female John Cena.
Yeah, so we can make you dangerous only up to a point. You gotta lose. Sorry.
Yeah. We got the Polish gentleman who says, gotta say, my favorite line on commentary last night was from Taz when Darby got smashed through the skateboard. Live by the board, die by the board. Taz is great with the one-liners.
Taz is great, but he lost his mind about halfway through the show. I think it was the hat. He just kept talking about the same nonsense over and over. I was like, sir, would you focus?
Could we move on? We gotta go to the next. We go to a vignette. The House of Black is here to tell us that this company has been corrupted by people who still hold the shovels in their hands that they use to dig the graves of others. The company is sick and dying, and perhaps it's time for himself and his others to put down this corruption. He says, Mrs. Hart, what is the crime? She says the crime is treason. He says, Mr. Matthews, what's the verdict? He says the verdict is war. He says, Mr. King, what is the sentence? Mr. King says, sentence everyone to extermination. Black says, so it has been decided. Anyone who has an issue with what they have done or said, come all on Wednesday next week.
Look at that photo. That's a badass photo. God damn. I'm not sure who's in control of the aesthetics of this, from the costumes to the way it's shot. I'm going to assume Malachi Black.
We've been saying this for months. We love how these things were, but this might have been the best one. Just how he said it and how they came, Mrs. Hart, Miss Hart, Mr. King, Mr. Matthews, and how they came into the light. It was just shot perfectly, and I love the wording of the promo and what they said to Brandon Cutler that was actually shot for being the elite. They says the people you associate with Mr. Cutler are a part of this sickness, and we'll get to them in due time. Send the message.
I gotta be honest. He said shovels. I immediately thought of the elite, and I'm here for this. This group needs to be pushed to the moon. They're so Malachi Black is so. Every time I've seen him, I go, "This is one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen in my life." Every time he talks, every time he has a vignette, every time he's in the ring, I just go, "This guy's amazing." I'm not sure what the fuck is going on here. Outside of Vince McMahon and Tony Khan.
Seriously.
Please, this is awesome. More of this, please. Please.
Absolutely. We got EVB who says this is what they needed all along. Defined roles for each of them. Perfect vignette. Yes, it was.
It feels like they've shifted from kind of this supernatural type of thing to just for animals.
Yes. Just beating the crap out of anyone and everyone. Yes, I'm here for it. We head to a sit-down interview with the AEW undisputed Women's World Champion, Jamie Hayter, who talks about doing her duty as a champion to both reign and defend her title. She is offering a title shot to the winner of the match come Friday for the Reina de Reis championship between Hikaru Shida and the Bunny, and she says that she will hold on to this championship for a long time. And I loved her bringing up that Tony has there's been sit down interviews with Tony Storm and Saraya, so that's why she needed her time.
This was good. I would have liked something addressing Baker, but slow build, I guess. We'll take it.
Yes.
Please.
Slow build with that.
She was good, by the way.
I do love how she looks. She just looks like a champion.
She does look. Oh, champion, yeah. Yes, she looks like a champion too. Yes. I was gonna say yes.
Perfect. Yes. Anyway, moving on. We head back to Texas where we got some trios actions in the women's division as the TBS champion Jade Cargill and the baddies face Sky Blue, Madison Rayne, and Kira Hogan. Kira Hogan, I guess, was here to get some revenge on Jade for kicking her out of the baddies, but she did that by tagging out first. Not starting the match and then tagging in for a bit, having an exchange with Jade, and then tagging in Madison Rayne so she could take the Jaded and take the loss for her team.
What the fuck?
Jade continues her undefeated streak. I guess she's gonna verse Kira Hogan down the road, but this was easily the worst match on the night, and Jade just feels like she's on a treadmill at this point. Like the Kira Hogan thing just feels so stagnant of a feud. You have to give her something of meaning. They just feel like they're dragging this to get to 1 year.
Yes, I feel like we've given them lots of passes for fucking injuries when in fact that's only about 5 weeks, maybe. Yeah. Well, the other fucking 42, let's call it 20 weeks for doing nothing. I'm just over it, and I don't understand why we haven't moved on. So we can say a year. AEW and you all, I blame most of you for this, love this random Easter egg shit that we pretend is long-term storytelling. This happened in Full Gear 2020, and this happened in Full Gear 2021. Long-term storytelling. That's not how that works, sir. And a year doesn't make this reign any fucking better. It's just shit for longer.
Pretty much. The one good thing about the match, I did like Red Velvet.
God. Good
she
Lord.
she looked like she's gotten her look together, as well as she just seemed more aggressive as a heel. Like that spot when she lifted up the apron for Sky Blue and just started beating the crap out of her, and then started posing. And then her new thing with the stir is that I was like, okay, heel Red Velvet.
Yes, I like the look too. I like the dreads. She's Jesus. Sorry.
Calm down.
So
get him some water.
Lord.
Get him some water. He's thirsty. Tony is backstage again with Saraya this time. But even before we can go further, Dr. Britt Baker DMD comes in to congratulate her on the biggest win of her career and says that it will never happen again. She's been thinking about Saraya and how Saraya said everything has been handed to her, but Saraya's first match was her biggest. Here's one more thing handed to her: tickets to the Kia Forum. Saraya calls for round 2, but Britt says that she did not say that. She has the women's world champion Jamie Hayter by her side. She'll be her partner, and Saraya tells Tony to team with her, but Britt takes Tony away.
I thought we're done with this.
No.
Apparently we got to get somebody said it might be Naomi. That is much more plausible. And I hope they announce
I can see that. It was this week at the Atlanta Hawks game that Jade Cargill and Naomi went together and took photos together.
I didn't know where
and they looked amazing together, I will say.
Do. Roman is an asshole. What am I gonna fucking say? Stop it. Focus. Let me get rid of this. I get easily distracted. Yeah, I don't mind what Britt said. I don't mind what Saraya said. It just feels like they said both of those things already. Kind of over it. We're kind of done with this feud. There's nothing left outside of debuting somebody, apparently.
Apparently so. I don't know if this is going to be maybe a transition into Saraya versus Jamie Hayter. Maybe that's the Revolution title match. And then you could do something. You could use Britt again. I think Britt's all going to be, especially if it is a debut in person. I think whoever's debuting, they should probably just do a one-on-one match with them and Britt. If it's Naomi or if it's Sasha, I can see that. I think it's probably more plausible that it's going to be Toni Storm, but they should definitely announce that in the next couple of weeks.
Fuck yes. Toni Storm gets silenced when she comes out regularly. She comes out, people expecting fucking Sasha Banks. Good Lord. I can't imagine what that sounds like. Holy. Like the void.
Hey, I talked about it. About it. Yes. Great stuff. Great stuff. I'm loving it.
Especially when she's Naomi, like legitimately happy instead of that fake happy she is when she comes out. Just because you're skipping, you're not fooling me, lady.
Thunder Rosa. That would be another one. I would at least I would at least announce that if it's like the week before. I would announce that. I mean, if WWE was scared of having Becky Lynch come out and get booed in Boston because people would think it was Sasha Banks. So they made Becky Lynch come back the day before on an episode of SmackDown when she's a Raw superstar. Then AEW better announce this fucking partner before LA because people, the more weeks they prolong this, the more people will believe it's Sasha Banks.
Agreed. Especially with this New Japan news coming out.
This is like world. Like I'm still recovering from learning that news at the beginning of this review here.
Yes.
Yeah, EBB mentioning it as well. There's reports this past hour from PW Insider that Sasha might be showing. No, she is going to be at New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom, which would be insane. Naomi is the one I see in this spot for the tag match. I'm saying there's going to be a lot of crossover between AEW and New Japan. So it's not unlikely if Sasha is showing up at Wrestle Kingdom, she might show up the next week at AEW.
It's unlikely. It's definitely unlikely. It's fucking close to impossible, but it's certainly unlikely. What's the percentage you put on it? It's not more than 50% you would, so it's unlikely.
Right now? No. Right now I'm putting it in at like a 5%.
And what she shows up at fucking
When she shows up at Wrestle Kingdom, it's gonna shoot up to like 45%.
Stop it.
Yes.
She's not showing up in AEW.
If she shows up on camera at Wrestle Kingdom, I'm boosting it up to 45%. You heard me. You heard me.
Yeah, I did. I'm baffled by this.
You shouldn't be.
I was so happy when Christian showed up. The person next to me was saying Brock Lesnar, Dragons, all time. Yeah, sure.
You know what? I was actually watching that review back, the Revolution. Go back and watch our Revolution 2021 review. Great stuff. And Revolution 2020 with myself, Jimmy, and Cash. I watched those back. But let's talk about the main event for this episode of AEW Dynamite. It was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Acclaimed defending against the ROH, IWGP, AAA Tag Team Champions, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, FTR. The Acclaimed came out and they ended their rap saying that the FTR was going to lose like Herschel Walker. Not one of their best efforts on the rap there. But this crowd, once again, I gotta give it up for this crowd. They elevated this damn match. This match was good, but the crowd made it great. Like they were into everything, especially in the final moments of the matchup. But this was just a well-worked, well-paced matchup. Strong psychology with FTR playing more of like the subtle heels, using kind of like not heelish moves, but more like underhanded type of moves, like using doing like the slingshot into the bottom of the ring, which looked vicious, isolating Caster for a Bowens hot tag. Bowens and Caster getting a lot of near falls. It looked like they were going to take the win with the mic drop, but he missed in the final moments. Dax was kind of taken out of play after a couple of near falls, and Cash Wheeler kind of had to defend himself against both Caster and Bowens. He took out Bowens, and then after a big old power bomb, he tried to get into a jackknife pin, but Max reverses. He rolls through, sits down on Cash, gets the 1-2-3 to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I really enjoyed this match. It went about nearly 17 minutes, got a lot of time, but like I said, that crowd really elevated things for a lot of the near falls late, especially on the big rig when FTR hit the big rig and got the near fall with Bowens coming in to make the save. The Acclaim gets the win. They successfully defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships. They scissor with FTR afterwards, which I thought was out of character for FTR. I thought
they lost the fucking match. Yeah.
Thought that was weird. I was like, I hope you turn, but we didn't get that. And then on the Contron, we see Austin and Colton Gunn, who are not here to interfere, not here to challenge FTR, instead here for a message that this Saturday, the Briscoes are coming for FTR. And in what type of match? It is going to be a double dog collar match. And the Gunn say, Merry Christmas, bitch. And that's how we close the show.
Wow. Do you realize it was only an hour and a half ago that Ricky Starks cut the promo of his fucking life? And we ended with that? What the fuck was that? I assume Dummy has got the feeling that FTR is not going to resign because they lost clean here, and then they forced to scissor afterwards. And then they have to deal with the ass boys, and they're having a rematch with our favorites, the Briscoes, in a dog collar. Why did they get to choose? Didn't we win twice?
These guys.
Didn't we win twice? Why did they get to choose the fucking rematch stipulation?
Technically, they've beaten them 3 times because they beat them twice in the last match because it was 2 out of 3 falls.
Whatever. And I assumed that Briscoe's going to win.
I mean, why do the 3rd match after they lost the 2 out of 3 falls match unless they're gonna finally fucking win one?
I assume they're out, which is fair. I mean, you knew a lot was going to happen once Triple H showed up.
Well, they'd say they don't even want to go back to Triple H. They want to spend a year on the independent scene because in 2024 it does make more sense to sign with their company. Yeah, it does make more sense to sign in 2024 because that's when both WWE and AEW are getting their new TV contracts.
Fair enough. I'm not mad at it. They do seem rather, we'll call them business savvy. I'm not mad at it. Good job. But yeah, this is the official. I don't want to call it the death of FTR. That's overstating it. But this is the official end of If you thought FTR was going to be pushed the way their crowd response said that you pushed, that's over. That's not happening. They're firmly in the spot that they're in, and no higher. No higher do you go, sir. Sorry.
You stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there.
Also, the Acclaimed. I'm sorry. I know the Acclaimed is a big deal now, but ugh.
I mean, I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a great match. I don't think they lose anything losing here.
What?
I don't think they lose anything.
I do. I think there's a lot. In fact, I know they lose a lot. FTR is big on right now. If I said who beats FTR clean, you would say nobody. I mean, before this match, you'd say nobody. And they just lost to the Acclaimed. And the Acclaimed would be, I don't know, at least second behind the Bucks on that list of people who you would imagine beat FTR clean.
No, they would be third behind the Briscoes.
Again, Acclaimed wouldn't be on it. It's just sad. They've
lost to the Acclaimed and they lost to Swerve and Our Glory. So they've lost 3 tag team matches this year.
We couldn't have the Ass Boys interfere? Yeah, FTR's gone. They're definitely gone.
No, I think that would have lessened the match. I think it would have been a flat
finish. Lessen the match? What does that even mean?
I think it would have been a flat finish if they got it.
It was a flat finish.
No, I like the finish. I like the finish. That's what I thought the finish should be.
Yes,
them barely squeaking by.
I'm agreed. FTR's leaving, so they should lose. I was booking this exactly how I would do it. Absolutely. Bye. Take this loss on the way out the fucking door and leave my belt.
Yeah. We got Romeo who says, realistically, though, we know how selfish TK is. Wouldn't he want Sasha to debut for him first rather than in NJPW? I don't think she's touching AEW if she isn't there first.
I can't believe we're really trying to rationalize this. I don't understand why we're not just going with logic. She's not going. Why are you guys? I'm with you, Romeo. I just don't understand why we're fighting this so hard. Sasha Banks is a star. She's not going to AEW. That's all we need to say about it. If she cares about her worldwide brain, why would you leave WWE, especially if Vince isn't there? Which would be the only reason I would leave. Because Vince is a maniac who doesn't appreciate me for some reason.
We got ABP says, I assume this definitely made Jimmy buy the ROH pay-per-view, no doubt.
I was sold on Wheeler Yuta and Brian Daniel Garcia.
Again.
Absolutely, for the pure championship.
We got Frantic World who says, I hope them boys win the ROH tag titles. We got Romeo who says the tag champs losing before a defense in a few days is puzzling.
We're going to lose twice in a few days.
ABB says, looking back, how they didn't capitalize on Wardlow and especially FTR's momentum this year. God damn.
Book of the year, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck
Book of the year. Book of the year. The bar is low. Our Caden says the finish was amazing, so he disagrees with Jimmy.
Amazing! Oh my god, he went right to the top shelf. Amazing! It's like Brett Norton in Survivor Series. It's amazing.
Ricky says Tony can't let FTR go. He needs to use them better.
They're gone. It's over. FTR's made up their mind, and fucking Tony Khan has accepted their opinion. You're out.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what you would do with them anyway. The claim is so over right now. You can't really take the belts off them.
Yeah, you're better off saving this match for Revolution. Honestly, I would have saved it. But they wanted to go out before the end of the year. That was kind of the FTR. They said that a few months ago. They was like they were gonna get another title shot before the end of the year, and they did. But they came short. But that brings us to a close on this episode of AEW Dynamite. Sound off in the live chat, last call for super chat donations. And of course, let us know what you thought about the show, match of the night, MVP, LVP, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs
no need for no MVP.
And out of 10, what did you give the show? So let's put our thumbs in the middle, Jimmy, for the December 7, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board. MVP. Is it any question?
Ricky. God damn. You smell like paint thinner and ass.
It's not ironed. Your shoes it don't fit. Oh my god.
Oh god damn. That's so good.
Fire in the streets. All right. Match of the night. What did you give it?
Oh boy. Jesus. How dare I? Samoa Joe and Darby. What are we even talking about?
What? I like the main event, and I think it was close, but I go with Samoa Joe and Darby because that was wonderful violence.
See,
The violence.
so good.
LVP.
That's significantly more difficult. I don't want to give it to Tony Khan for that William Regal nonsense. I'm going to go with William Regal. Sorry. That's so fucking stupid. Sorry, sir. I give it to Tony Khan too often. You're just taking the L with you. Sorry.
I'm not giving it to William Regal because he cut. If you're play this, if I'm dead, I'm sorry. That deserves praise. That deserves praise. I'm hearing a little echo. I don't know if this coming from you or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it was coming from you. I muted you and I stopped hearing it. But LVP for the show. Nah, I can't give it to Regal. I'll give it to Kira Hogan and her whole team. Kira Hogan, because she got out the ring so she couldn't lose. She didn't want revenge. She didn't just want to lose. And Caden says he gives himself LVP because he got caught yawning on and picking his nose on live TV.
God. Poor bastard. Why are you picking your nose? I mean, like, even if you're not on TV, you got to cover your fucking face, or you're fucking doing this, or you're bending down to tie your shoe for some reason. What's the matter with you? Jesus.
It was not, in fact, me, because Jimmy fixed it, and I no longer hear the echo. So, but out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
7. You know what? Because Ricky Starks, 7.5.
I go 8. I was at a 7.5, but I'll go to 8. The extra half is for Ricky. And they go with an 8 out of 10. I thought the main event was great. I thought Joe and Darby was an excellent murder. Ricky delivering a home run, star-making promo against MJF. MJF was fantastic in his own right as well. The Battle Royal was fun in his own right as well. So they did a lot of different stuff that I enjoyed. And the promos, House of Black promo as well was great. Mm-hmm. And we got history. I'll play this if I'm dead promo.
No, the only thing that let him down.
8 out of 10 promo. 8 out of 10 show.
The only thing that let him down was the booking. William Regal talking from the grave and spewing nonsense, by the way. No Hangman Page for some weird reason.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I won't go like 9 out of 10 for it or higher than 8 is because the booking was a little bit off. You needed Hangman and Page on this show. And you didn't need Regal cutting a promo from the dead. Jimmy. That brings us to a close on another week of AEW Dynamite. Please let the people know where they can follow you, sir.
At Jimmy Macram, mostly on Twitter because people on there bother me to know. Did you hear about the AEW Extended Universe? The fuck are we even talking about?
The AEW Extended Universe?
Yes. He said, I forgot, I don't remember who it was. He said fucking Tony Khan doesn't want Regal showing up on WWE television because WWE
that guy
is part of the extended AEW universe. Therefore, it would ruin the story. Wrestling fans are awful, and they should all die. What the fuck?
Why do you jump in these conversations? I honestly, that's the only thing I ask myself is when I see you comment and going back and forth with somebody is how did Jimmy find himself here and why did he continue?
I'll tell you why. Because it says fucking SP3 follows this person. So then they'll show me.
I don't follow them. I don't follow that person.
He liked or he thised or the True Heel Romeo likes or follows this. It's never anything I'm personally involved in. It's just here. Want to see what something this guy said? No. Oh, wait a minute. It's the dumbest thing I've ever read. I should probably respond. No Hangman. Yes. Fucking egregious.
Yes. Oh, man.
And no Elite. I got to be honest. I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, they needed the break. If they're going to do 3 straight weeks of this matchup. They need a break.
Lord.
Yeah.
Can we end this? What is it? 3-1? 2-1?
2-1. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month. More exclusive content every day over there.
It's smart business. Enough of this.
It is smart business. It is smart business. Stop it.
Oh my God.
SP3's Raw Report is up right now on Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. So check that out. Also, subscribe to the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel. We got our Sunday watch-alongs coming up for the NFL. Twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming tonight. We got a live watch-along over there for Blunt Impact, watching tonight's Impact on Access TV. Also, join us live here tomorrow at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time for our ROH Final Battle preview with myself and special guest Joel Hobart of the Late Night Grin. Join us on Saturday for our Final Battle watch-along at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's got two big shows on Saturday, so check out our preview from yesterday for NXT Deadline, which is also on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then join us for the watch-along on Saturday. But before all of that, Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat 204, myself, Miss Chrissy Love, will be joined by Post Wrestling's own Andrew Thompson, news wrestling writer extraordinaire. He's going to be joining us on the show and talking all about this week in wrestling.
And
any smart comments about him?
I was going to say he's the president of the chess club.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Hill Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
He seems like a nice guy. Smart guy, he looks like. That's all. Smart business, absolutely. All that business Regal's driving in.
It's smart business. It
absolutely.
is. It is. They are correct.
We don't want some of those pay-per-views for Triple H.
Don't listen to the trolls like Jimmy and Romeo, but please drop a thumbs up on this video, share it with your friends, comment down below, let us know what you thought about AEW Dynamite. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your true phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 71. Pink dinner and ass.
You smell like paint thinner or ass.